And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello and welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Friday, November 8th, 2024. And if you'd like additional weather information on top of what I provide in this YouTube video, you can go to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence. It'll bring you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left and tabs for the territories. I like to start out with this map at the beginning of the show just to kind of show you what is happening in other parts of the nation today. As of this Friday afternoon, we have red flag warnings for southern New England into Saturday. Winds could gust as high as 35 miles an hour with relative humidities as low as 25 to 30%, causing critical fire weather conditions. We have some flood watches, Mississippi up into North Texas. And then we have a winter storm across northern New Mexico up into eastern Colorado. Still blizzard warnings around Taos in northeast New Mexico, where as much as a couple feet of snow has fallen. And the heavy snow and blowing snow is pushed up into eastern Colorado. But here in Alaska, we're going to be watching yet another Pacific low tracking just south and east of Kodiak Island as we go through Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. It's going to bring some more wind, rain, and some coastal mountain snows along the Alaska Peninsula, western portions of the Gulf, including Kodiak Island, the eastern Kenai, some of the areas around Prince William Sound. Farther north, still some rather breezy conditions. We have those polar easterlies along the Chukchi and Beaufort Sea coastlines, creating some heavy freezing spray where there's some open water. And it looks like temperatures are going to cool down here for later this weekend and through about middle of the week, especially across the mainland, the central eastern interior. And then we're going to start to see a couple stronger systems coming in the North Pacific, crossing into the Bering as we get into the latter portion of next week and next weekend. And that certainly could bring an additional round of some heavier precipitation, rain and snow, along with windier conditions here toward the end of next week. But Point Lay up there along the Chukchi Sea coast, blowing snow 16 degrees, a little sliver of sun there off toward the southern horizon. As we go down along the tip of the Alaska Peninsula between there and the eastern Aleutians, Ukon Island, snow developing 34 degrees. And Kodiak Island this afternoon, mostly sunny, 45, but by this time Saturday we will be seeing wind-driven rain along the coast and snow up in the mountains. Northway along the Alcan border, partly cloudy, beautiful shot. You can see this hoarfrost on the grasses and the brush there, 16 degrees, and temperatures will be cooling down here up there. Northway, Eagle, Yukon Flats, interior areas along the Brooks Range. We'll likely be seeing nighttime lows getting below zero, pretty widespread here by early next week. Taking a look at the hazardous weather map at the present moment, we have no notable watch warnings or advisories, though there is a heavy freezing spray for along the marine areas here between Point Hope and Kaktovik into Saturday morning at least. But otherwise for now, even with the system coming up here from just south of the eastern Aleutians as it works its way northeastward to just south and east of Kodiak Island later Saturday. It's not of a high enough intensity to warrant warnings or advisories, but it still will be another system producing that wind and snow and rain. As of this afternoon, we have this weakening low now in the western Gulf, and then here comes that next system. There's kind of a couple of energy centers there, one southeast of Adak, another one to the southwest of Unalaska. And as we go through, this is the current time in the late afternoon of Friday, this low filling in the western Gulf, 989 millibars, and then we have a 971 millibar low there just south of the central Aleutians. Late tonight, early Saturday morning, here comes the next low at 974 millibars, and it's heading off toward the northeast. It's actually going to kind of come up here to just east of Kodiak Island and then slide southeastward later this weekend. So on Saturday afternoon, we expect the low to be located just south of Kodiak Island, down around 969 millibars. Pretty good wind field wrapped around this low. So there will be windy conditions with coastal rains there in Kodiak City Island. But as you get up into the The mountains here along the Alaska Peninsula will get some moderate to locally heavy snow, and even up along areas of the Gulf, northern Gulf, including the eastern Kenai. By Sunday afternoon, the low is expected to be kind of just south of the Gulf in the North Pacific. It's occluded. It may push back some rain and snow to areas of the Panhandle, especially the southern half, for Sunday afternoon. Further inland, though, generally mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. A little colder temperatures. There's going to be a little kind of push of colder air coming in from the northeast over this area for early in the week. So that's what's going to allow for colder temperatures overall, with some nighttime lows in a number of spots getting below zero. So looking at temperatures Saturday morning, generally above freezing in the Panhandle. Only 3 above, though, in the Copper River Basin, and 30 in Anchorage, 7 above the other side of Alaska Range at McGrath. Readings hovering just above freezing along the eastern Kenai, 37 Kodiak City. Temperatures on Saturday, warmest readings 46, 47 degrees, Klawak Crag, Metlakatla, even near 40 Juneau and Skagway. Maybe a little few degrees above freezing, Anchorage up toward Talkeetna, 17 though, Glen Allen. And then again, coldest temperatures, Copper River Basin, other side of the Alaska Range, single digits. Otherwise, temperatures will likely dip a bit below freezing. Anchorage Bowl, a little colder up toward Talkeetna, 22. And lows getting down a bit below freezing in the northern Panhandle come Sunday morning. And then for Sunday afternoon, we'll see highs mid-40s, 45 or so there at Ketchikan and Craig. Just above freezing, 34, 35 there, Skagway and Haines and Juneau. 15 in the Copper River Basin at Glen Allen. Just above freezing, maybe 33 or so there, Anchorage and Talkeetna. And 40 Seward, 42 at Homer. But notice we'll start to get lows a little more common below zero here Saturday morning across the Brooks Range, areas of the eastern interior along the Alcan border, down near or just below zero. Cold spots like Northway and Tok. And then to the west, lows in the teens along the Chukchi coast and Norton Sound. High temperatures stay below zero, Anatuvik Pass, Arctic Village. Otherwise, teens up the Yukon, Tanana valleys. Maybe lower 20s, western Seward, Wales down to Nome. And then lows in the single digits above and below zero, common across more of the central eastern interior by Sunday morning, and they'll be colder than that come Monday morning. And daytime highs generally only in the single digits, just above zero here. Places like Anatuvik Pass, Arctic Village, including Fort Yukon. As we look west, 30-ish for a high there on Sunday for Savunga. And the interior southwest, coldest as you creep up the Kuskokwim and the middle Yukon, single digits up that way, teens, Bethel, Anvik, St. Michael, and Imanik. As we go down along the Alaska Peninsula, readings should generally hold just above freezing. And then daytime highs Saturday afternoon, 43 Kodiak City, 40 King Salmon, 43 Dutch Harbor. Colder though here, 23 Bethel, 22 Imanik. And then for Sunday morning lows, teens, southwest interior, single digits as you get further inland on the north, north and west of the Alaska Range. Down along the Aleutians and the Alaska Peninsula, temperatures will stay just above freezing. There's going to be pretty brisk winds in the wake of that low sitting over here and beginning to head off toward the east-southeast. And then temperatures Sunday afternoon may have to struggle to hit 20, low 20s at least Bethel. The outer Yukon, Kuskokwim deltas highs could be 32 or 33 at Makoriak, 39 out there at in the Pribilovs at St. Paul, and generally in the lower 40s, False Pass, Cold Bay down through Dutch Harbor all the way to Adak. So here is the temperature outlook as we get around and starting to just slide past mid-November. November 14th through the 18th, that's like next Thursday through the upcoming weekend, next weekend. Temperatures should average below normal over the Panhandle, near normal across much of the central, southern, eastern, northern interior, and then this influx of above normal temperatures coming into the southwest Alaska Range and the Aleutians is the result of a stronger low that'll be coming up into the Bering with a strong front. And when that front that's going to be moisture laden hits this colder air that'll be sitting at the surface in these areas, it's going to change to snow, and there could be some heavier snowfall with this as we get into later next week and next weekend. And in fact, you can see here's the signature for the likelihood of above normal precipitation from the southwest coast, YK deltas, Bristol Bay, spreading inland through the southwest interior along the Alaska range. So again, stay tuned to this time frame if you're in these areas, because we could be looking at some moderate to heavy snow. That could even include some mixed precipitation the closer you are to the coast, just given the timing of the year and the nature of the temperature profile in the atmosphere with this kind of setup. So stay tuned. Have a good weekend, everybody.